Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, a.k.a. the Black Champion, and across from me is Philip Restisher. Evening, Captain.
Good evening. How are you, my friend?
Stone cold sober.
Oh.
I'm starting to feel it.
Oh.
But, I mean, right now, I just...
Well, you know, you got here, we were in the...
Got queer.
Oh, yeah. And then we had to towel off. No, but we were in the captain's lounge, and I said, "Hey, buddy, crack open one. We got something to celebrate."
That's right.
And you said, "What are we celebrating?"
Because I don't keep track of time or dates or events. I just kind of wander through this life, and hey, look where it's got me so far.
That's what I love about you. You're a free spirit.
That's right. So I said, why I mean, we'd be cracking one open anyway, but
sure.
why are we doing it today?
Well, I had an announcement to go with the cracking.
Right.
We didn't get it cracking.
There's only one man that I know that can get it cracking. And that's Dustin, the voice from Drunken Lullabies on the FCF network. There's your plug, damn it.
It'll be $5. It's our 1 year anniversary. We have released a show every Monday for the past 1 year.
Now, I'm free-spirited, and people don't take a lot of stock in me personally, and well-warranted. But who in your life would have said, absolutely they're going to release every Monday? They said they were going to do it, and they did it. Who would believe that?
I have OCD.
Right.
And with our OCD combined, you used to have it before you became a pilot.
Captain Planet.
Right. Yeah, everybody knew we were doing
Okay, so you think that people believed in us?
Oh, believed in us, or just believed that we would release a show?
Okay, that's okay. Those are two different things, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's levels of quality, I guess, and I mean, we could just spit into a microphone for 5 seconds and release that show, and it would still count, I guess. But we actually did high quality programs, every Monday per week for a year.
We didn't cut any corners, and that's one thing that we can look at our passengers right in the eye on this podcast.
Yeah,
you know,
right,
and say we've given you 100% every time. Every time,
that's right. Oh boy!
So much for the fact that we actually recorded this show at the marathon.
Yeah, and we liked it. We liked what we did so much at the marathon. We said, you know what? There's another hour's worth of content here.
Right, exactly.
Will that ever see the light of day?
We might do it as a bonus episode way down the road, like a Christmas episode.
A little Merry Christmas to our fans,
right?
Our frequent flyers. Boy,
it was funny if you listen to the show all the time. It was funny.
Yeah.
But if you were a newcomer, you would have been taken aback.
Let's talk about that. So it was you and I, of course.
Sure.
The backbone of Couch Pilots.
Sure. You bring it up, you bring it down.
And you do all the stuff in the middle.
Yeah, and on that episode, I couldn't do anything in the middle.
I saw you give up almost immediately.
People were tapping on the gauges. Jacob was playing with the joystick.
My mic doesn't work for some reason.
Never before have I cut off somebody's mic before.
Oh, did you cut it off?
Yeah, I had to.
Okay.
Not because of what was being said, but just the constant movement of the microphone. So,
yes, great episode. Maybe I was very excited to do our episode during the marathon, and I said, everyone in the plane, and more people than we've ever had before in the plane.
Cram them in.
Yeah.
Just like the subway in Japan.
That's right. The standing room only, and in some cases, crowd surfing only.
Exactly.
And we said, everyone in, and then we shut the doors. We had Dustin to the left of me, very excited to have one of our most frequent flyers come back and see us. And then we had a handful of people to my right, including Big E, including Drunkle Andy from Drunken Lullabies. We had Mute Jacob from IBWIP.
Heather was in there. She was in the corner.
Oh yeah, her and Big E were. I think she came in to try to fix the chair that Big E had broken, And then a buddy of mine, Matt, was here. And we're like, I'll take it up, and then you did the stuff in the middle. But as soon as it got off the rails, your chair is the only one in here that reclines, and it was in full recline mode during that episode. You had leaned back, and you said, you know what? It's off the rails. I'm just going to sit back and have myself a time.
Right.
Did you? Did you have yourself a time?
It was one of those things where I was like, this is fine. These guys are having a good time. I knew we were going to redo it.
You must have said all of that in your head because your face absolutely did not show that. Your face showed, fuck all of you guys in here. This is something I take very seriously, and you're pooping onto it.
I have my original notes from that episode. And
wait, can I guess?
What?
I had dinner the other night with one of my friends who was here, and he said, Blake, during the show, drew a picture of a train going off the tracks, and then he showed it to me during the show. Is that true?
It's this train wreck. It has a train.
There it is.
The train hitting a wall.
It is true.
Oh, yeah.
It happened, and I just saw it.
And unfortunately, for a lot of our frequent flyers,
yes.
We are no longer going to offer the Groupon.
Yes.
That's where this got out of hand.
We had a Black Friday special, and it was unrelated to the Groupon, but we will probably continue to have Black Friday deals where you can get bonus frequent flyer points if you contact the show or tell your friends or send us an email or contact us on Instagram or Twitter and Facebook. But the Groupon is out the window. We did not create a quality show. It might be released for hilarity in the future, but we didn't create a quality show, so we couldn't release it.
Right.
And they tore up all our shit. Oh. It was like goddamn juggalos through here. They just left a trail of trash behind them.
I know, it was a bunch of empty Faygo,
Yeah.
2 liters.
Bunch of clown makeup,
Smeared all over the bathroom. I don't know what was going on in there.
No.
And the kids had the best of intentions. They really did.
Oh, they were great guys. Individually, I'd love to have any one of them back on the show.
But they had just consumed too much alcohol in the lounge before they boarded.
Hindsight is 20/20, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But we thought at the time, wouldn't it be great to get all of our favorite frequent flyers into a marathon scenario, pile them in the jet, Air Force One,
right?
Which some people dispute is the name of the airplane. It absolutely is. That shows how little they know.
Right. On the Audible reference book I got from Audible.
Oh, the manual.
Right, the manual.
Yes, that President Barack Hussein Obamacare actually recorded with his own voice. It's the manual for Air Force One.
Right, it says manual Air Force One. So that's why we called it that.
Right.
Adam
Z from Low Blow?
Yeah, he was like, well, it's only considered Air Force One when the president's on it. There's 2 different ones. No. Blah, 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 yakety, schmackety.
You know what? In a few months, when they make that glorious transition to Trump, which I cannot wait for, so excited for Trump to be president, and Obama is no longer our current president, guess what? You still call him President Obama.
Right.
You're not going to call it Air Force One? Yeah, I don't think so.
Right.
Okay? Same rule applies.
Right. Exactly. And so it's Semetics is what it is.
Yeah, it's Semetics. That's exactly right. And, you say potato, I say Semetics.
I say pretzels.
You do for some reason, when in fact there is no N in there. There's no N in there. Oh, boy. 1 year. How many more years we got in us?
We'll see how the second year goes.
Yeah, I think that's...
I enjoy it. I know it's a lot more difficult for you than it is for me.
Because I have to travel here?
Traveling.
Okay.
Because I live at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you do a lot more work. Getting it up and bringing it down is a lot more stressful. People would think, man... there's all those gauges and stuff. When you're in the air, you always got to be looking for geese.
Right.
Like hard clouds. You got to watch out for hard clouds.
Hard clouds, yep.
But
because there's hard water clouds.
Oh, exactly.
And there's soft water clouds.
Right. And if you get that buildup on the wings, it can really affect your
diameters. Mm-hmm. That's right. And your Semetics. Yeah, getting it up is so hard. It's so difficult to get it up, and people don't realize it. Sure. And I don't want to point anyone out specifically, but I think ladies don't realize how hard it is to get it up.
That's why you don't see many lady pilots.
That's right, because it's too hard to get it up.
Yeah, they're like, women's rights. Women
burn in my bra.
Yeah, women are equal. Fine,
get it up.
Get it up and get in this plane and get it up.
Yeah, take that 71 cents per dollar, and why don't you raise it up to 100 pennies per dollar?
Exactly.
Go for it.
And they don't.
Be my guest. Ladies, just try to get it up.
Have you ever seen how stupid they look in the hats, too? They just don't look good in the hats.
No, I've seen some sexy pilot outfits, but rarely with a hat. Rarely. Am I right?
Right.
Ah, boy. 1 year. Hey. Happy 1 year, buddy.
Happy 1 year to you, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
1 year. 1 year of seeking out pilots. Shows that only had one episode. Totally making them our bitch. Right?
We own them. We pwn them.
Yeah. We totally pwn them out. We say, where are these shows? Where do they exist? And they're out there, just kind of hiding on the internet, just kind of, hiding behind firewalls, ducking behind iClouds, hard iClouds, But I find them.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's why your job is the most difficult.
A lot of times we talk about us being sky cops. In some cases, when I'm seeking out these, I feel like a sky headhunter or a sky sheep herder, putting my hook around them and pulling them right out.
Yeah, like a sky bounty hunter.
That's right. Sky the bounty hunter.
Sky the bounty hunter.
I like that.
Thanks.
Did you just come up with that?
Yeah. No, well, it's a take from Ozzy Osbourne singing the Bounty Hunter song.
Oh, really?
Theme song.
Do you think
The Bounty Hunter.
Do you think we've gained enough clout here that we could get him to sing a new intro for us?
Ozzy Osbourne?
All right.
I'm sure he has nothing better to do.
Except get divorced. Today we discuss the pilot episode of Poochinski from the year of our Lord 1990. Great year. Great year. Uh-oh. Okay. In the past, I always say great year because I'm an optimist. I'm a free-flowing, like we said. I'm out there.
You're a prime.
God, this is really tough to see. And lately, in the past, you've always said, yeah, it's a great year. But over the past few weeks, I feel like you're uneasy about how great a year is.
I feel like we put way too much pressure. Like, as your co-captain, like, you go, it was a great year. Because you're optimistic. You're like, it's a great year. And then I feel like I have to come up with something positive. And there are many years in my life that are not positive.
Was 19 add 90 one of those?
I was starting high school.
Yeah?
I hated high school.
You hated the entire experience of high school?
99% of it.
1990% of it?
99%.
Gotcha. What was the 1% that was good?
When I had sex with Angie Vecco in my car.
Is that the one that smelled like fish fillets?
Yeah, because we both worked at McDonald's.
Great percent.
That was the only good thing that happened in my whole high school years.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put pressure on you. I'm just trying to get everyone in a positive spirit.
Okay, well, I'm going to work on me.
Okay.
So you do what you do.
I do me?
You do you, because that's what we've been doing for a year. I'm not going to mess that up. So we'll just go ahead and rewind and start from when you say that.
Well, let's... Is there something specific, though, that happened in that year?
No.
Just the burden of entering high school and everything
Puberty.
that followed?
Puberty and stuff.
Yeah, puberty. Okay. Well, we'll rewind it real quick here, then. Today we discuss the pilot episode of Poochinski from the year of our Lord 1990. Great year.
Oh, it was an amazing year. It was wonderful.
Was that the year you had sex with Angie Vecchio?
No, that was actually a couple years later.
Nice. High five it. What are some of the highlights?
I'm married to a black guy now.
High five that. You know what? She crossed the race barrier. God bless her.
Sure.
I know I've crossed it on more than one occasion myself. So
high five that.
God bless Angie Vecchio and her African American husband. What are some of the highlights of popular culture from the year of our pilot's release? We go back in time at this point.
Yep.
We step into our digital time machine and we go back.
You can't talk about these pilots and be like, oh, I'm going to judge them based on 2016.
No, I've got a whole slew of pilots from the 90s. None of them would make it today by today's standards.
They'd be like 2, a 1, a 2, a 1. What's the point of doing the show then?
No point. We're not here to bash. We're here to uncover. Like we've talked about so many times, those excavators, those Indiana Jones types, those Jurassic Park where we're out there with the brushes, we're digging them up. We want to see what's there. We don't want to just pull our pants down and poop on them.
Right. We're not here to start no trouble. We're here to do the pilot shuffle.
That's right. Boy, aren't the Bears doing well this year? They're the worst.
Can't catch a football for the life of them.
Good God. Speaking of excavating, year of our Lord 1990, the most complete skeleton of a T-Rex is found in South Dakota. They named her Sue.
Sue
Studio.
A dinosaur named Sue, which is a famous Johnny Cash song that my son has really revamped his Johnny Cash love. He loves Johnny Cash. But he's really discovering other songs. And one of them is A Boy Named Sue.
Or in this case, a T-Rex named Sue.
A T-Rex named Sue.
And do you know why this T-Rex's father, even though it was clearly a boy because he had a huge dinosaur cock, he named this boy dinosaur Sue? Do you know why?
He knew that he was going to have to be tough.
Right.
And he gave him that name to help toughen him up. Thicken his skin.
Yeah, he'd have to eat. I mean, dinosaurs already have great thick skin.
Sure. Oh, but that's where one of the things I know, because my son wants to be a
dinosaur.
A paleontologist.
I'm sorry.
But I know that dinosaurs have really thick skin.
Right. And not just like emotionally, but literally thick skin.
Right. I think more literally than emotionally. I
Yeah.
think they got their feelings hurt a lot.
And that's why this guy said, I don't want my dinosaur T-Rex son to be one of those.
Right.
Name you Sue, you're going to take a lifetime full of shit, but goddamn it if you aren't going to be the most
Right.
callous T-Rex out there.
Exactly, because people are going to make fun of you because your arms are short.
Get over it.
Touch the corner, I can't.
Yeah.
My arms are all those memes and that's
Terrible.
grow up, people.
Just, yeah, I mean,
Grow up, dinosaurs.
dinosaur life matters.
Yes, that would be a brown ribbon.
Right. Saddam Hussein orders Iraq invasion of neighboring Kuwait, and subsequently, Operation Desert Shield begins as the United States and UK send troops to Kuwait.
All about oil.
Give me that oil.
And Desert Storm.
Desert Shield became Storm.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
And
Transformed.
the Transformers are there. That's right. They transformed from pyramids into fighting robots, and thankfully they're on our side.
We would be in a shitload of trouble if they weren't.
IBWIP history class. Check it out on the FCF network. There's your plugs, you assholes. That's us.
That's us.
We do that show.
We are assholes.
We're the assholes. Did you know anyone who? Because you have a few years on me, right?
Right.
And I mean, there's people probably a few years older than you that you may know that were involved in this operation.
No, I went back and thought about it, and I didn't have a lot of military. I didn't have anybody like in family that was military or any close friends. That
No
were,
neighbors or anything like that.
I had a really good friend of mine went into the Navy. He became a seaman, but that was after we graduated. So this was post
Seaman.
Post desert seaman.
Oh, sorry.
Which what's the Navy going to do in the desert?
Nothing.
You can't even get there.
No, it's a landlocked place. And what are you gonna do? Just travel around it and shoot cannonballs and hope you hit something?
Right.
Come on.
This is not Mario World.
No. There is a place in this world for seamen. It's not the desert. Where would you say the best place for seamen would be?
Girl's mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully your friend ended up in some girl's mouth.
Oh, yeah, probably.
America's favorite animated family, The Simpsons, is aired on Fox for the first time.
Now, I can remember when there was just a short on the Tracy Ullman show.
Sure.
That's where I first can visually remember hearing about them.
So you were 14-ish, right?
Sure.
1990 or 14. And I was, no, wait, you must have been 15 because I was 9, according to my notes here.
Okay.
So I do remember being like 7 or 8 and watching the Tracy Ullman show and not really understanding the humor of it,
no.
but just waiting anxiously to see the cartoon that was so funny. Because back then you only had 8 channels.
Right, exactly. We didn't have satellite dishes sticking above our houses.
Love satellite dishes.
I love them. I got one. Actually have 2 here at the house if you want them.
Are they operational?
I'm sure you could.
Could we, if you're not using them, can we turn them into downhill sleds?
Oh, definitely.
High five it. The Simpsons is still going right now. I want to say 27th, 28th season. The show is older than my brother. That is a weird thing to say.
Wow, that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah. It's weird.
I haven't watched it in many, many, many years. I don't know if, after this long, what could you drudge up that you haven't drudged up before?
I think...
The baby is like a 26-year-old baby.
Right. Same as my brother. It's that semen again. Before all these streaming services, I went back and I had bought, I think I have the first 7 to 9 seasons of The Simpsons. And there's a while I didn't have internet at my house, so sometimes when I was with my daughter on the weekends, we would watch The Simpsons a little bit. So she really got into it. She saw a lot of the good stuff in the beginning. And then now we have Hulu, so we watch the new episodes every weekend. We watch one episode. And they are good still.
Really?
They're good. People... I think people like The Simpsons when they first get into it. They're like, oh, that's the best time. Just like Saturday Night Live. Oh, this is the best time. This is my favorite cast because this is the one you came in with, and that's what you remember. But just like anything, it goes up and down. It has its lulls, peaks and valleys. But The Simpsons, to me, is always good. It's a hallmark for comedy writers. People who are highly intelligent will write these episodes. They're not all gold.
No, I mean, are all our episodes gold?
I would say 99% of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you were 15, right?
Yes.
And I was 9. Great ages.
Great ages.
Why did we choose to watch Poochinski?
There's 3 simple criteria that we use here, Couch Pilots. 1, it has to be a 1 episode made. It doesn't have to have aired, but it cannot go to series. If it went to series, it does not count.
Yeah.
Some of them are aired, some of them are not aired. But it's the pilot episode, and that's all it can ever have made.
And the ones that were not aired are special to us, right?
Oh, they're the diamonds in the rough.
That's right.
Second, it has to be found. It has to be readily available on the interwebs, or
Be sent to us.
Producers send DVDs to us. But 99% of the time, we have to find them on the internet.
Yeah, I don't suggest people bombarding the producers of each individual show and asking them for a copy. They may yield some results, but probably not many.
Right, it's not worth your time. We're kind of like important, so that's why they.
Yeah, we're on the failed pilot vanguard. People look to us.
Exactly, and then finally, it has to be free. We spent a lot of money on Air Force One. Mm-hmm. We spent a lot of money on this gas.
Yep.
We spend a lot of money on craft sodas and craft beers.
We love them,
and we don't have any other funds to pay for these.
Right. Why would we? When there's such an available amount out there that we pay nothing for, why would the money come out of our pocket?
Amen.
Amen to that. And those 3 things are the hallmarks of the show in no particular order. They're all equally important.
Very.
And without any of them, a show does not exist.
We wouldn't have a show, and then we would just be sitting here
picking each other's beeholes.
Oh, I love picking the beehole.
Where can you find the show Poochinski? You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube and do the thing, baby.
I want to point out to frequent flyers as well as new listeners, for our show notes, we provide the link at the top of the page for this pilot that we're watching.
Yep.
And at the end of the show notes, it's the pilot that we're watching for the next week. So it would be a good idea for you guys to get ahead and start watching these with us, and then you can, when we're talking about it when the episode comes out, you have already seen it.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened. That was hilarious. Boy, that was really bad.
Don't be a week short.
Yeah, don't show up late to the game. No one likes that.
Nobody likes somebody who shows up late to the party.
No, absolutely not. And just so everyone knows, too, when you click on one of our classically blue links, they're the safest links in town. We run them through our pachinko machine over here, the machine that calculates everything numbers-wise related to Couch Pilots. And it gives you a crystal clean bill of health when it comes to a link. You click on it, you know your computer, you know your smartphone's going to be safe, no questions asked, and you'll come out the other side pristine.
Gold.
Diamonds.
You can watch all the porn in the world.
And I do.
And it's not near as safe as our links.
I am terrified when I watch pornography because you know what? It's never been a blue link. I take that chance every time. I've never taken that chance with a pilot.
Amen to that.
Never.
Ever.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Now, we didn't mention him at the top of the show here, but DSJ, our tarmac workers down there waving his golden cones as he sends us into the wild blue yonder.
He's been pretty quiet lately.
Yeah.
But
we'll have to check in on him soon, make sure he's all right. Summary of the pilot. A Chicago police detective whose spirit is transferred into a flatulent English bulldog after he is killed in the line of duty, then returns to solving crimes.
that is a summary that summarizes well the 28 minutes we spent on this.
It is a long sentence, but it hits all the points.
Do you think when they write summaries, they even worry about sentences or punctuation?
No.
It's just let's just vomit words.
Yep, vomit words, absolutely. Next section of the show called Interesting Facts.
Why don't you take this one? Because I've had some issues not doing it right.
Sure.
So
Interesting Facts is the segment of the show where we dig a little bit deeper. We tell you some of the things you might not know, some of the things from behind the scenes. You're going to watch a show, you're going to take in exactly what we did, but there's other stuff to be known, and we find those things, and we present them to you. And these facts are set in stone. Nothing about them are uneasy. They're the bedrock, the foundation of this pilot.
Yabba dabba doo!
Is there a ding? Is there some sort of ring, right? As the bell rings, so he leaves work? Yeah. Anyway. Now, Interesting Facts is just the name of the segment. Interesting is a qualifier. It's an adjective to describe facts. I don't want anyone to listen to these facts and be like, hey, well, that was a great fact, that fact sucked. It doesn't matter what you say. You're wasting your own time when you do that. The facts are set in stone.
Just listen.
Take them in.
Just take them in.
Just take them in, okay?
Don't even, like, if you're sitting next to your dog listening to the podcast,
Right.
don't look over and go, that's an interesting fact, isn't it, Rufus?
Yeah, that dog, aptly named Rufus, it can't really understand what you're saying. So again, you're just you're burning useless calories.
Right.
Come on. The series was canceled after this single episode was broadcast, which of course, right? Or wouldn't be one of our shows.
That's the main staple.
This is a fact. I'll tell you this. In the world of the TV show Stargate SG-1, Poochinski lasted at least 100 episodes, as discussed by Jack and Mary in the episode Wormhole Extreme.
Can you explain that? Because I'm confused by that fact.
Sure. Okay, so you got a show called Stargate SG-1.
Never heard of it.
It's a sci-fi show that's set way into the future. You got, I think Richard Dean Anderson,
Okay.
MacGyver is in it.
Right.
I could be wrong on some of this. I don't know.
That's okay.
But it is a sci-fi show. But inside that world, the show Poochinski existed for at least 100 episodes.
Huh. Syndication.
They got those sweet.
Ching.
Fact.
Right.
Honestly, right now, I have so many emotions. There's so many things I want to say about it.
I can see it in your face.
But I can't. It's an interesting fact. That's it. That's all we can say about it. It's a fact. Whew, boy. I'm gonna let it out later. I'm so. Anyway.
You seem giddy.
I am. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I have so many comments I want to make. I know I can't though. NBC decided not to pick up the series, but subsequently did air the pilot on July 9th, 1990, which we know is what?
Summertime, dump time.
Yep, that's right. In recent years, the show's premise has been recognized as one of the most bizarre in television history. They're not kidding, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And this is one of the odds. The odds.
Yeah, I'd agree. Features George Newbern, who you may recognize as the groom from Father of the Bride films.
Never saw those.
I saw him when I was a kid.
So Steve Martin, right?
Steve Martin.
And Martin Short was the wedding planner.
Yep.
Okay, I'll come with you now. So that was the groom to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Amy Yasbeck, you may recognize from Wings.
Yes, I mean Kevin Bacon, 6 Degrees of Separation.
Mm-hmm.
Poochinski is 6 Degrees of Separation from Couch Pilots.
Right.
In the Wings.
Absolutely. You got the intro, you got the outro of our show. You got a rating system, all derived from the show Wings, and here's a star of Wings.
She was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Amy Yasbeck, good-looking girl. Remember when she was in The Mask? The Mask with Jim Carrey?
Oh.
Man, she was good-looking. And the voice of Peter Boyle, he was the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yes.
That show sucked, right?
Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yeah.
The mom was good looking.
I think I talked about this recently, how I think she was 100,000 years old. I mean, she's an old lady. I've got a crush on Patricia Heaton. I don't know what she's doing. Keep it up.
Met a milk boner?
Oh, straight milk
She's
boner.
in the middle now.
In the middle of my milk boner. That's right. High five it. Nice. Okay, that's the end of Interesting Facts. I am not going to lie. I have wet myself with anticipation from... I knew how interesting some of those facts were.
Sure.
I couldn't let it out until just now on your seat.
Okay, well, I mean, technically Interesting Facts is over. Is there something you want to say about that?
I think it's awesome that it lasts 100 episodes in SG-1. That's totally awesome. And here's something else. It says it was discussed by Jack and Mary on SG-1. In the future, why are people named Jack and Mary? Shouldn't they be like...
Jack and Diane.
Yeah, Jack and Diane. Yeah. I was like, Jack and Mary, way too classic names to be that far in the future. What
Right.
you want are names like Jack and Diane.
Right. But, like, I think about that once. Like my grandma's name is Virginia. You don't meet anybody under 60 years old with the name Virginia.
Not one. But did those names come back around, you think? You think in a few years people are going to be naming their kids Virginia again?
Oh, yeah. They'll go with there'll be a renaissance. Because they'll run out of names.
Yeah.
When I was young, nobody was named Blake. I never met another Blake.
And we have another Blake on this very network.
Yes, we do. My ex-wife married another Blake.
Yeah. Do you think that name is going to have a renaissance, or do you think it's out of vogue now, or in vogue?
I think it's still in vogue. There's a lot of little kids named Blake.
A lot of little Blakes running around?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there sure is.
Why didn't you name any of your kids Blake Jr.?
To me, I didn't like the name. Too many things rhyme with it, and kids make fun of it.
So if you had to pick another name to call yourself, what would it be? Yeah.
What?
Philip
Philip Restisher.
Philip Restisher?
Well, sorry.
You're really struggling there.
Yeah.
You got it. Twitter responses. Right?
Oh, love the Twitter responses.
Right? We reach out to the internet.
It's like going fishing.
Exactly. It's exactly like
Twitter fishing.
Yeah. We cast our rod out to the right? That's
That lure fell 3 times into that water. Just skipped across the top.
I was trying out different sound
I
effects.
gotcha. Try to do that on your own time.
Who thank you. I'm sorry. I should not do it mid-show. Who created the show? Who directed it? Who wrote it? Who starred in it? And then we cast that line out. It sounds a little something like this. Zzz. Good.
Perfect.
Worked it out. Someone got back to us this time in a pretty big way again. Oddly enough, it was from an actor on the show, and I always put the actors at the end of the list. No offense to them. It just usually they don't have emotionally or time-wise, they don't have a lot invested into it. It's usually the creators or the writers or directors who are like, hey, this is a passion project of mine, or this is something I created. I totally want to talk about.
And that's where we've gotten the biggest amount of feedback.
Absolutely.
Is from the creators.
But this happens to be
our first
big response.
Big response from a star.
And we're going to talk. This may be our most may be our most diverse and action-packed segment of Twitter responses we've ever done. So I'll put Poochinski to the back burner for 1 second. I will mention that Mike Mitchell, the star of one of our previous episodes, What's Going On with Mike Mitchell, he did. I think he liked a tweet. He liked something we did. So I mean, usually I wouldn't mention just a like, but like he was the star of the show. The camera's on him the whole time. It was kind of cool that he at least gave it a glance, right?
Yeah, and he got back to us, didn't he?
Who's that?
Mike Mitchell?
I thought he just responded or starred. Or did he say something? You look that up, and I will talk about another one of ours when we released Super Clyde 2015. Our best friend in the whole wide world, Greg Garcia, responded when we alerted him and the masses that our episode of his 2015 version of Super Clyde was being released. We said, did you get a chance to listen to Super Clyde 2015 episode yet? Wondered what you thought of it. And Greg said, I did, and I dug it. Saving up my pennies to fly you out for the guest book premiere. Glad to hear you'll do Coach.
Nice.
And we totally will.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we've only been doing this for a year.
Right.
This podcast. We can't expect Greg Garcia to give us first class.
Right. And, Greg's out there. He's always creating new stuff, always new content, great material.
But then again, some of his shows have done really, really well, and I know they've gone into syndication. Mm-hmm. So he's probably got a little bit more. But you know what? We're bros.
Yeah.
We'll take Coach. And
I was going to say, though, like next year he could have a new project coming out. And by year 2, you and I are probably going to be expecting like business class or first class.
Right.
So that's kind of, you caught us at a good time, Greg.
Well, we can get on like a first boarding.
Right.
Because we're technically in the armed forces because we're Sky Cops.
That and also, other captains usually extend a courtesy to fellow captains too, which is nice.
Captain, my captain.
He also mentions, that's what happens when I have coffee before I write an email. You caught me at a good time. Keep up the good work. To which he was referencing his very thought out and very thoughtful email about his Super Clyde projects. Thank you again, Mr. Garcia. We truly do appreciate your time and generosity.
Definitely. Love him. He's one of the
He's a gold member.
He's a gold member.
He's a frequent flyer diamond status. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Locked in there for life. The director of the 2015 version of Super Clyde, Rebecca Asher, says yes. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, I just clicked off the oops. Damn it. She says, yes, it's a great episode. I'm glad you guys liked the 2015 version. I got a 7. So she listened to it, and she realized that she heard our rating system. Thank you for featuring it. A 7, of course, is the best you can do, Brian Hackett.
Exactly.
It's true that's probably our highest-rated show to date. Great episode. She goes on to say, also for the record, Charlie McDermott is a wonderful person and a delight to work with. And I believe this was a reference to some really bizarre review saying that Charlie McDermott was like a monster or something.
Right.
Charlie
McDermott fucked some girl and her boyfriend found out.
Maybe happened. So, yeah. Neither of us really took stock in that interview,
no.
But
and I hope that she didn't think that we were saying that. I think it was clear that we weren't saying that.
No, it was some review because 2015 version, it was never aired, it was never released. It's very hard to find. We were sent a copy of it, so there's not a lot of reviews out there. So we're grasping at straws for reviews, and that just happened to be like the one that we found. But like I said, you and I didn't take stock in the review. We just thought it was funny to read. That's got to be it. Right?
No.
What did you find out about Mike Mitchell?
I guess it was he. I thought he had apologized or something and said that because he didn't get back to us. But we have so much fan feedback, and I have yet to come up with a way to really work it.
You know, yeah. If I were you, I would just plug it right into the pachinko machine, let it sort it out.
That's true. Oh, he had said, "Sorry. Oh shit. Sorry, I completely missed this. Busy day at work." Would it still be helpful, or do you already have the episode done? We had already had it done. We're like, hey, and he says, okay, great, I'll give you a write-up sometime this week, and then we never heard from him.
Was that Mike Mitchell, or was that the other Jack Allison?
That was Mike Mitchell.
Oh, was it really?
No, that was Jack Allison.
Yeah,
you know what? You're right.
We knew that.
I'm sorry. I'm confused.
And we have yet to hear back from him, and that's why I didn't mention him. That's fine.
I apologize.
Okay, so here's the big one for this week's episode, relevant to the show we're talking about.
Back to Poochinski.
That's right.
Folks, realign yourself. Get your sit-up in your seat. Put your tray tables back.
Yep.
Back in focus.
I think they should make a pilot called Back to Poochinski. Don't you? Maybe not. Maybe you don't think that.
No.
Okay. You said it, and I thought it was a great turn of phrase, so maybe not.
Sorry.
Actor Brian Haley.
I was supposed to say yes and I didn't.
Brian Haley at Haleywood, which is his tag on Twitter, says, love this idea. PM me. And PM him we did, and he responded in a big way.
We PM'd him, and he loved it.
We PM'd the shit out of this guy. Okay, if you don't know who Brian Haley is, and you may not, I guarantee you see him, and you're like, oh, that guy. I know that guy. I have no idea what his name is, but I know that guy.
Right.
And I'll tell you, you're probably going to know him from a million things, including the film from 1989, Always, about that plane. Maybe you don't remember that one. That was a big... He was on Quantum Leap.
I remember Quantum Leap.
He was on Baywatch. He was... Clean Slate with what was that? Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
Baby's Day Out, Little Giants, The Drew Carey Show, and that's the first thing I remember seeing him. He was only on one episode, but he played a Drew Carey clone, and he totally looks the part too.
I remember that episode.
Dude, that's awesome. So do I. There's something I'm going to skip here and bring up later. That's kind of a big thing. That's a surprise to you. He was in Mars Attacks, That Darn Cat, and McHale's Navy, the legendary Weird Al Show. The Huleys, The Man Who Wasn't There, which was with Billy Bob Thornton as a black and white film. Pearl Harbor.
Oh.
That was a big movie.
Right.
He was in The Departed, another big movie.
Wow.
Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood. He was in ER. He was in 30 Rock. He was in Orange is the New Black, Boardwalk Empire, The Blacklist. And even the new TV show Kevin Can Wait with Kevin James.
Right.
This guy cannot stop.
All over it.
He's one of those guys that comes in and he's a comedian and he'll do like a guest spot on a show. And he's just been nonstop working for 25, almost 30 years at this point. So
let's give him a high five.
High five him. Brian Haley says to us, Poochinski was a train wreck of a show. I don't think anyone challenges that, not even those who made it. But the strange thing is how many connections it had to my career later on. I don't think any other project I've done has been so full of coincidental meetings. First, a funny story. I had a strong suspicion Peter Boyle, the star of Poochinski as the voice of the dog, he didn't like how I was playing the part. Every scene I did, I could see him powwow with the producers, and one would sneak a sideways glance at me. When I did a scene with Peter, he was very gruff and didn't talk to me, though I was very cordial to him. I could tell that he was upset. He probably thought I was playing things too big. I had the same problem with Rick Moranis on Little Giants, but I think we can all agree I was fantastic in that movie. Great film. People who caught that film at the right time, Little Giants, like they hold that film in such high regard, and he was a big part of that film, so that's awesome. Sometimes when you see what you see on stage doesn't make sense till you see it on film. The camera sees something different than what the human eye can perceive. So the Poochinski pilot is not picked up, and it is universally panned, but I managed to get the only good review from the Hollywood Reporter, who wrote, about the only highlight in the show comes with comedian Brian Haley playing Sergeant Shriver, who, like the politician of the same name, isn't around long enough, and the ticket goes down to defeat. I'm not sure exactly what that's referencing, nor did I look it up. I'm sorry, but I will say that he has a scene. He's in 2 scenes, Brian Haley is, and one of his scenes is the funniest part of the whole show.
It's like later on we'll have Turbulence, and then we'll have Landing, where we read reviews. There's like a review of Poochinski inside of
Twitter.
the Twitter response.
Yeah, it's a meta part of the show. Yeah, we're going too deep at this point. It's very Inception-y.
Man.
I later worked with Peter on the remake of That Darn Cat, and he was a peach of a man, a really nice guy. Maybe he was just upset about having to be in this turkey of a sitcom.
Oh, yeah, that's had to be what it was.
Yeah.
Peter Boyle would never be mean to anyone, I wouldn't think.
He looks like a grumpy old man, but he's probably got a heart of gold.
Oh.
R.I.P.
Looking for a heart of gold.
This show is built on the backs of his song. Poochinski was a bad idea, but remarkably, not the only dog sitcom pilot that didn't get picked up that year. I know, amazing. The other was Turner and Hooch, starring my friend Tom Wilson, Biff Tannen in Back to the Future. We are going to do that. Little surprise, little FYI for our frequent flyers.
Okay, because I have seen Turner and Hooch the movie many times, and usually you'll name a movie and I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So I've already got bonus points going for me.
How about, do you have little boner points for getting ready for the show?
Oh, yeah.
Milk boning?
Meta.
That's cool. He's buddies with Tom Wilson. I can see that.
He wrote so many great songs for the Beach Boys.
Okay, name them.
Everything from Pet Sematary album.
Yeah, I think when you look at in the pantheon of albums, Pet Sematary by the Beach Boys, written by Tom Wilson from Back to the Future, usually is about the top of the list. It doesn't get much better than Pet Sematary. Great album.
I wonder if the voice has that album.
He's like breaking so many pencils right now, just snapping.
Right,
so.
he's going to be texting us like at the bank. You guys are dumb.
He knew that. I've worked with Tom Wilson a few times, and also with just about everybody in the cast of Poochinski. Amy Yasbeck. I can't mention that. It'll ruin the surprise for later. George Newbern on a series for CBS called The Brotherhood of Poland, New Hampshire. I don't remember that at all. And Peter Boyle, as I mentioned, Tom Wilson on that movie as well. John Ritter was executive producer of the show.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. for sure. Miss John Ritter. He was a fan of my comedy, and I met him again when I was working on another show that I can't mention. Amy Yasbeck and him met on Problem Child, made just before we did Poochinski. There's a weird show.
That was weird. That's about the kid that just...
Bad seed.
Yeah, very bad seed. Like, would terrorize everybody.
Yeah, it was gross comedy, too. It was weird, dark, gross comedy that just somehow, like, snuck in as, like, a family or kids movie, but it had some real... Like, Kramer fucked a girl in that movie.
I oftentimes get that, like, instantly in my brain, that and what's the name of that dog?
Poochinski.
No, that's in Alaska.
Balco.
Fucking never mind.
Balto.
No, I say
A husky.
no. The ones that save
Saint
people.
Bernard.
Yeah, Saint Bernard movie about the same time.
Beethoven?
Yeah, that wreaked havoc on everything. I get Problem Child and Beethoven confused.
You know, Beethoven's got that slime that comes out of his mouth, you know? He's always whipping his head around and slime's going everywhere. There's a lot of weird slime stuff in Problem Child.
They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial.
The show
we
is
walk
built on the
in
back of his.
endless
I don't want
mile.
to. No, show me. What are you
We
showing
are
me?
the youth.
The time?
gone wide.
Forget it. We have complete domain over this, guys. Okay. Brian Levant, one of the writers of the show, went on to direct and came in as a replacement director on Little Giants as the original director. Dwayne Dunham went over with the shooting schedule and was forced into editing so we could make our release date 4 weeks later. Andy Summers, the guitarist for the Police, did the music for the show. I saw the Police perform at Foxborough Stadium in 1983. Not sure if that counts. It counts. Oh, it counts,
Oh, it
Brian
counts.
Haley. Big time.
That was before they broke up.
Yeah. That was before they
So
broke up.
hell yeah, it counts, Brian.
I'm sure there are other encounters I've had with Poochinski alum, but I can't recall right now. I'll write more if I think of it. Okay, we'll take that for sure. And sort of related but not really, we shot at a weird mini studio in downtown L.A. Nobody ever shoots in L.A. unless it's Steven Seagal doing a location shoot in the industrial part of town. As I was walking back to my car after shooting one day, I saw another crew shooting something, and what do you know? If it wasn't Steven Seagal, who gave me one of those looks like, where do I know that guy from? I hadn't done much in my career up to that point, so I doubt he had seen me in movies, but I guess it's possible. I was ubiquitous on those lame TV cable stand-up comedy shows. Maybe he's a fan of my stand-up as well. Anyways, 20-some years later, an Army Special Forces buddy of mine that I am writing a screenplay with gets a call to be his bodyguard. Now that has to count for something.
Oh, yeah.
Of course it does. Everything counts in small amounts, right? Or in large amounts.
Nice rap. Everything counts in small amounts. Ricky.
I think that was a Depeche Mode song.
That's why it came rolling off my tongue so easy.
Best of luck with your project. It sounds hilariously entertaining.
Well, thank you.
What a well thought out and appreciated letter by Brian Haley. A man, I don't know how he has time to write us something as busy as his schedule is, as action packed as his career has been. Thank you very much. We really appreciate
We
it.
do, seriously. Appreciate taking
Absolutely.
the time out.
And we're
You
going to
won't find this on any other podcast.
absolutely
stuff like
not.
that.
No way. And we're going to take a quick time out for one of our favorite shows, and that's Low Blow right here on the FCF Network.
Are you sick of spoiled white people and Donald Trump bringing you the news you could care less about?
Are you sick of trolling the interwebs for penis-related news only to end up flaccid?
Do you lust for Florida only the way a mother lover can?
Then look no further than Fakakta Comedy Funhouse's Low Blow Podcast with Adam Z and Dave Rowan.
Streaming live every week at lowblowpodcast.net and available for download Thursdays at fcfnetwork.com.
Appropriately inappropriate.
Oh!
Low Blow, love those guys.
We got to hear that live.
Got to hear it live. We got to meet Dave finally. They came down for the marathon. Really, really glad they did. A couple of good dudes. And I don't think they get enough credit for the fact that they do it live. They do it live.
Right.
And I was listening to a recent episode where they were having some live interaction with people.
On the
Yes.
Faces book.
Totally. Very cool podcast. If you like two guys with great...
One cup.
You like two guys... why don't you what happened in two Girls, One Cup?
Well, 2 girls, 1 cup. There was these 2 girls, and they had this 1 cup. They filled it up with some chocolate, and then they ate it, and then they fucked each other.
I never saw it. Yeah.
You never saw it.
Nor will I.
There is an episode of IBWIP way back in the bank where,
Were you forcing some girl to watch pornography?
yes, we would force her to watch pornography.
Norma Jean?
Huh?
Norma Jean?
Yes. And we made her watch that. And we made her watch the whole thing, and we made her watch her boyfriend watch it too.
I've never seen 2 Girls, One Cup. I can only say that from my limited knowledge on that subject, that the Low Blow podcast is the testosterone version of that.
Yep.
So if you like girls shitting in a cup, which you generously call chocolate, and then devouring it only to get each other to orgasm, then you will love Low Blow podcast right here on the FCF Network.
Oh!
What do you think about that?
That was a little long.
So, pilot time.
Oh, let's pilot this up.
Time to talk about the pilot. Take us through your notes.
Well, start off with the logo. Right off the bat, the logo says Poochinski, and it has 2 cute little paws for the O's.
Adorable.
Loved it. They go in, there's the scene of the city, overhead scene of the city, and then there's, it seemed like the dispatch talking to different officers. It's kind of the background music, little music starting, obviously made by the guy from the police, right?
Very jazzy as the camera scans the night sky. And yeah, Casey the dispatcher is sending our heroes to a crime scene. Mm-hmm. So they get to the crime scene, and you got some cops talking to some guys up against a car, and the newbie cop, McKay, He and Poochinski, they're kind of, it shows their relationship. They're kind of squabbling about things.
Sure,
right?
you got the new guy, and then you got the old guy that's seen everything and done everything.
He's hardened. He's grizzled. I couldn't tell. Was McKay, George Newbern, was he a rookie, or had he just been there a month at that particular precinct? Did they ever get into that?
I don't think they ever got into it. I would say he had some knowledge, so I think he had just gotten onto that force.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he was definitely the newbie in that scenario. And then Peter Boyle, Poochinski, Stanley Poochinski, he walks into an alley and he sees some street toughs.
No, not street toughs at all. He's eating a hot dog, and there's just like these 3 or 4 little kids standing around a dumpster, kicking the shit out of a dog.
The kids had a knife, though, right?
Well, they're kicking it, and Poochinski's like, "Hey, you guys, what are you doing over there?" And one of the kids turns around, and he has like a switchblade. He's like, "Just keep walking, old man."
That's a weird choice to make those kids, don't you think?
Definitely.
Especially from what follows.
They should have been like teenagers.
Yeah, these kids, they should have been at least 15 to 18 years old. At least. We're talking 12? These kids are 12.
Yeah, between 9 and 12.
Kicking the shit out of some dog, pulls a switchblade on Peter Boyle, and he says, "Oh, my mistake. Sometimes I forget things, like whether or not this gun is loaded." He pulls a gun on children, and goddamn it if they don't scrabble down the alleyway, just scared out of their minds.
I never had a gun pulled on me.
Not even as a 9-year-old in an alley?
No. But also, yeah. So they all take off, and he walks over there. He's still chomping on this hot dog. I'm assuming it's a beef hot dog.
I'll be frank.
Exactly, the best there is. And he sees this dog, and it's a little English bulldog.
Aww.
I love English bulldogs. Wrinkly little faces, stubby little legs. They're wrinkles and just. They're just adorable. Is
this a dog that was bred for human pleasure? And I don't mean sexually. I mean just for us to enjoy? Or is this something that Darwin would have knocked off years ago? This is not something natural in nature, is it?
No, it would have knocked it off big time because they have nose problems and skin problems.
A lot of respiratory issues.
Yeah. So, but they're adorable. So, Poochinski leans down there, says, "Hey, buddy," pets him, and the dog, kisses on him, and then he gives him part of his hot dog.
Cementing a friendship. The next day,
a lot of my friendships have boiled down to that. I mean, if
Peter boiled down to it?
Nice. Peter boiled down to it. Just a hot dog and a kiss.
We're always looking for new show ideas for the FCF network, right?
Hot dog and a kiss. Don't tempt me.
The next day, McKay and Poochinski, they're riding together over to work, and they pull up right in front of the station. Perfect parking spot.
There's always in every cop show, there's always that spot that's right in front.
Perfect. Yeah. So they pull up, and then they got the dog.
Oh yeah, he's in the back, and Poochinski and this dog are best buds now.
I'm wondering, they pull up together, McKay and Poochinski. Were they riding around all night together? Is there shift at night, or are they on some sort of carpooling system to work?
I think they're definitely third shift. Got the third shift.
They got the night shift, huh? So they pull
Great
up.
movie.
Great film. Pull up. The dog's in the back. He says, "Hey, why don't you hang out here, puppy? Hang out right here." And then who do you got coming over, waltzing over to the car? Is our Twitter hero Brian Haley as Sergeant Shriver.
First time you see him on the show.
Shriver and Poochinski, they kind of jab at each other. He says something about the dog, and then he references how his wife's a dog, or like, "I don't want your wife to miss me," or something about it. And Brian Haley gives Poochinski a look like stone cold, like, "How dare you say that shit to me?"
Right.
And to me, that was the funniest part of the show, just his reaction to being insulted about his wife being a dog. Right. Anywho, they go inside. McKay sees the chief. He takes him to his office and says, "Hey,
get me out of here.
I can't be partners with this guy anymore."
Right. He's crazy.
And he's got this dog and all the flatulence, and he's like, "Would the dog's fart?" And he's like, "No, Poochinski's farting." Right. And the chief ain't having it. He says, "You know what? Who caught these serial killers? Who caught these birds?
Boston Strangler.
Yeah. Who caught the London Rippler? Who caught him? Right?
Poochinski did.
Who caught the RKO killer?
Poochinski.
Black Dahlia.
Who's Black Dahlia?
They slit her from nut to gullet, right?
Slit her?
I don't know.
She has nuts.
These nuts. That doesn't make sense. So he's like, you know what? Deal with it. This guy's your partner. Suck it.
Right.
You got to deal
You'll
with
learn
it.
something.
That night they go on a stakeout. The first of a couple stakeouts. This is a stakeout heavy pilot, I would say.
Well, that's all the third shift cops do.
Yeah, I guess there's not too much to do, so just sit around and wait. So that wait they did. Poochinski is singing, "Everybody needs somebody sometimes," and he talks about meeting broads while working Vice.
Right. And he shows a picture, one of the pictures to McKay, because McKay starts to talk about a girl that he's interested in.
He almost sounds like he's seeing her, but he's not really seeing her. It's kind of weird.
It was very vague, but yet he had a lot of details. He's like, she's a widow, she's got a kid, and you're right, I couldn't tell if they had boned yet or not.
I think he even said in that conversation they haven't even gone out on a date yet.
So it's just some girl he sees in the hallway of his apartment all the time.
And he's got some sort of weird fixation on her. I think the guy's a little nuts. It's all just set up for later, and what would develop further down the line if the series had prevailed, but it did not. Then Don Cheadle?
Huh.
He's the guy who played War Machine in the last couple Iron Man movies, the black fella.
Okay, yeah.
He's on House of Pies with Ben Schwartz.
Okay.
Anyway, he looks like him. I don't know if it is him. I'd have to check his IMDb. But he delivers a pizza while they're on stakeout.
Yeah, he's like a crackhead.
Yeah.
It seems like he delivers a pizza that does it have shrimp or something on it?
Yeah, I think he said it had like
Anchovies?
pineapple and shrimp. He's like, what am I, on a health kick? And he throws raw pizza into the back seat.
Just flops it from the backseat for the dog.
Anyway, McKay's like, what the hell you doing, man? We got to take this seriously.
And he starts to flip out.
He really does.
He's like, I've had enough of this. Mm-hmm. And
you're not taking this seriously. What kind of detective are you? This is crazy. And during their argument, the very place that they're staking out, a woman is robbed
at an ATM.
Yep, and a chase
Ass to
ensues.
mouth.
Is that what that stands for?
Yeah, ass to mouth.
I use an ATM all the time. Never knew what that was.
You got to be careful because you'll get ass to mouth if you're not careful.
Like on my body, or is that where the dollar bills come from?
You'll get it in your ass and then your mouth.
I'm never using an ATM again. That's the Couch Pilot's promise.
Debit card, always. Don't even carry cash. It's too dirty.
Ooh, boy, that sounds awful.
People die from carrying cash.
McKay gets his gun out and he fires at the thief as he's making his way directly towards him in a vehicle, trying to hit him. And he misses, and then he alerts Poochinski via like a walkie-talkie or something. He's like, hey, he's coming around your way. So Poochinski kind of takes position behind a car.
Right. And then Poochinski sees the McKay is about to get hit.
No, he sees that the dog.
That's right.
Which at this point I think is nameless.
Yeah, the nameless dog. He jumps out of the car and is going, and then the car is speeding up, and it's going to hit him. So Poochinski leaps out, grabs the dog, bam,
throws the dog to safety, and yes, he gets
and
hit.
You can't. It's not like a cat.
Yeah.
If you throw a cat, it will land on its feet. You throw an English bulldog, it's not going to land on its feet. Its feet are only like 2 inches high.
Yeah, that's a virtual death sentence for an English bulldog. He gets hit by the car. He's laid out. Props him up.
The dog cries. You can hear the dog cry in the background.
Dog doesn't like that one bit. This guy gave me a hot dog and a kiss, only on the FCF network, and now he's about ready to pass away. Right? Watch for it. It's coming. So they lean up Poochinski against the side of the car, and he's like, I'm not doing so well.
Hey, here's my card that shows you how to tip or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was odd. And then he's like, no, hang in there, man. Hang in there.
You're going to make it, Poochinski.
No, I'm not.
Not this time, kid.
And then there's this weird sequence of shots of the close-up of Poochinski's eye and then the dog's eye.
Yeah, McKay's off calling it in, so you got to get someone over
Right.
here. And meanwhile, they're having...
Ambulance.
Yeah. Ambulance.
And it's just really weird. It's like it goes from Poochinski's eye to the dog, back to Poochinski,
Yeah.
back to the dog, back to Poochinski. And I'm just like, we could have just done this once. You know, there's eerie music playing in the background.
They're doing some sort of voodoo soul swap, as we'll later find out. Not really... I mean, they don't say voodoo, but...
Nobody does the voodoo like you do.
Oh, I do it so well, I think.
You do the voodoo?
So well.
Hoodoo.
Hooty-doo-doo-doo. Say, we're at Clark and Diversity. So I think when we recorded this before, we kind of asked ourselves, where are they? And I think Chicago is the answer.
I think that's what it came.
Okay. That seems... I'm sorry?
Poochinski's dead?
Cut to the funeral.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I wanted to bring this up. As the transition from this scene to the funeral, there is a wide shot of the city street.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's like a mist in the air, and there's garbage floating all around in the air. Like it all of a sudden became very windy.
Do you think it's magic?
I think it was supposed to symbolize the transfer.
But do you think it is actual magic?
I believe in magic.
Where? In a young girl's heart?
Oh, well, her heart,
Some part
her
of a young
mouth,
girl, anyway.
her
Yeah.
ear. A lot of times her ear.
Back
She's
and
not-
chest.
If she doesn't watch it,
So
I
they,
say, listen, if you don't scream, you get in the ear.
that's right. It's like
Easier to wash out. That's horrible.
you're very bad. Yeah, cross that out. So they cut to the funeral. It's a very small funeral for a cop,
Very
especially
small.
a decorated cop. Think of it. If you really caught as many people as the chief was explaining to McKay, don't you think there would be just a sea of people there to honor the man who took
mayor?
down? Yeah,
The mayor would be there. The chief would have been there. There would have had a 65-gun salute.
Mm-hmm.
There would have been a lot more. If he got as much pussy as he acted like he did,
Yeah.
there'd be a bunch of old hags in the back crying with big hats on.
big hag hats.
Oh, the biggest hag hats.
McKay's left there alone. Kind of, everyone fades out. He's still there. He hears a voice. It's Poochinski's voice,
It's like, what's going on?
but his voice is in the dog.
He looks down and the dog's at his feet.
Yeah,
And it's the dog talking to him in Poochinski's voice. And right off the bat, I mean, just from here on out, it's just whatever you possibly think wouldn't happen on a television program is going to happen.
it's off the rails, just like that picture you drew. The dog proves to McKay that's actually him. He starts singing that song again. Everybody needs somebody sometime.
You don't rush it, man.
I'm sorry.
Everybody
The show is built on the backs of the
needs
songs.
somebody.
He says, I gave you my tip card. Here's my badge number.
Yeah, he's like, how do I know it's you? And it was, like you said, it was the tip card, then the badge number, and then he's like, I'm still not convinced. And then he starts singing that song. It's like, I think the badge number would have been fine.
This is a weird part of the show. Let's do an I reenactment. I'll be McKay, and you'll be the dog. Okay.
Okay.
So you say something to me.
Hey, McKay. McKay.
What?
Oh my God! Yeah.
That's the reaction I think I would have.
Sure.
And not sit there and have a conversation with a dog trying to prove that he was a human being. I would say, this is a dog making perfect sense talking to me. I am running as fast as I can
Right.
in any direction.
I have lost my mind. But
That's not the reaction he had at all. Instead, he starts hanging out with the dog.
he starts licking himself, and he's like, I got to catch this killer.
Yeah. He's like, and he said, well, how did this happen? He's like, all I know is there was this tunnel and a big shaft of light, and there was someone calling me, here, boy, and then I had a tail. And then he ate grass and threw up. I
Right.
think. Yeah,
And then they to seal the deal, because he's convincing McKay that they got to find this
he
guy.
needs his help.
And when McKay finally says, fine, I'll help you out, they seal the deal with a paw and handshake.
That's right. If for me, I would have sealed the deal with a hot dog and a kiss.
Hot dog and a kiss all night long.
But yeah, Poochinski's like, he wants to lick himself and then find his killer in that order. Licking comes first. It trumps everything.
So I told Molly.
Poochinski eats grass and then throws up. He's happy to hear that Shriver is working on the case. I think he's happy because he thinks Shriver is incompetent, and maybe it'll give them more leeway to work on the
Sure.
case. And Shriver, of course, being Brian Haley. Back at the station, Shriver cracks wise about selling the dog to a restaurant for its meat, and then Poochinski pees on his leg.
Yeah, and it was like a really thick yellow pee. It wasn't like a normal dog pee. It was like a very thick consistency and very golden yellow. And I thought to myself, Poochinski's got a urinary tract infection.
Or he just got done eating a whole fucking pizza with pineapple and shrimp.
All right.
McKay hands the pooch off to Casey, the dispatcher we hear in the beginning, who is attractive, and he loves it.
Oh, yeah, she's scratching his neck and talking all cute to him and then petting him. And the next thing you know, there's a shot of McKay, and you can see her in the background, and he's just loving it. And then they do a close-up of his face.
A dog had an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
That dog creamed his jeans. And which, that's something else I was thinking about. Do you think, having formerly been a human, Stanley Poochinski, now a dog, was self-conscious about being naked all the time. Do you think he would ever want to get some clothes fitted for him?
No, I think he would probably like, you know what? I can finally be free.
Yeah, there's a freedom in it.
You're right, because if I could, I would go around naked.
You personally would?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All day, day.
Aren't you worried about...
Oh, I look awful.
Yeah, well,
I look horrendous.
That's not what I mean. Of course, it's implied, but that's not what I meant. You have...
A huge belly.
I was going to say huge something else.
My penis.
Yes, you have a legendary member.
Sure.
Aren't you worried about that getting caught in like a door or like a conveyor belt or like an escalator smashed in the door or something?
Not really, because
Tape it to your leg.
the way I look at it is, if it can get through all the pubic hair that's down there now to even hit something, more power to it. Because I don't see it anymore. My belly has become the roof of the shed that keeps it from getting rusty. I don't even see it anymore.
Oh, I heard that recently.
You go, Doug.
Yeah, I think that was him. Oh, boy. So he cracks wise. He gets pissed on his leg. He's jizzing all over this dispatcher. They then leave the station and head to McKay's place and then run into the widow that he was mentioning earlier while he was talking to Poochinski on the stakeout, that he's crushing on her, and then he sees her and her daughter together. And I think they're all kind of going up to their apartments, respective apartments, right? And then he's invited to dinner. And Poochinski tries to get McKay to go to dinner, and then he howls at a police siren. And he says, I can't control my canine urges.
But doesn't he like wrap him up in his leash so they get close together?
Oh, yeah. Poochinski, if it were me, I'd be like, okay, got to focus on catching this killer. All of a sudden, he's intertwining himself with his love life. What does he care?
He's like, I got to help McKay's love life.
What does he care about that?
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't care.
But you got to have something else. You got to have a B story.
Yeah, I guess so. And yeah, in this scene, I'm realizing McKay completely accepts that his former partner is a dog.
Right.
He's all in.
He has foregone any thing in the back of his mind saying, this isn't how right, or this is weird. Nope.
Perfect sense. This is what should be happening.
I'm going with the flow.
So they're getting into an argument, kind of the new age odd couple, a dog and a boy. They're at his place, and McKay kicks Poochinski out. He says, "Get out of here." He's not kicking him out for good, but he's kind of annoying him, so he kicks him out of his apartment for a minute. And Poochinski goes down to the elevator, and he says to a man in the elevator, "5, please." The man is not looking at him; he's looking at a newspaper. But he cordially presses 5.
Sure, he doesn't know there's a dog. He thinks there's another person.
And so I was like, maybe he's going outside, but you can't get off at 5. He goes down and he starts scratching at the door of the widow, so he can kind of again make this love connection. But what advantage what does Poochinski care? Is it just the B story, or does he have some other dog in the hunt? Pun intended.
No, it's if she had a poodle or something, then yeah.
Oh,
but we never see another dog.
Smart. Yeah.
Thanks.
You
don't say it to me very often.
I really don't. So I know you take note. It's funny because you're right. Like if he did, he could smell another dog on her. But let me ask you this: you're a man, for all intents and purposes.
Sure.
Tomorrow you die and become a dog. Do you want to have sex with dogs, or do you want to have sex with human women?
Well, I've got a lot of better chance at that point to get laid by a dog than a human. I mean, I have trouble enough getting laid as a human.
As a married man.
Right, as a married human. I would find it even more difficult if I was a dog to get laid by a woman.
Okay.
So just cut out the middleman.
So just numbers. It's not, you're taking out bestiality completely out of the equation and looking at it at a purely numbers standpoint.
Yeah, it's not bestiality anymore. It's my body. My penis is a dog penis.
Yeah.
And so it's not bestiality. Think about it. Poochinski doesn't look down and say, look at my human dick. I got it on this. No, I have a dog penis. I have got a lipstick that's going to pop out. So no more is bestiality involved. It's straight. I can basically, with rules of nature, I can go up to any fucking dog I want to, mount the fucking thing, and fuck the hell out of it and just walk away.
Canine rape. My penis is a dog penis. Shut it down. We did it. We did it.
1 year.
We did what we set out to do. I five it.
We were like, we're going to do this podcast until one of us naturally says.
My penis is a dog penis.
Thanks a lot, folks. Take care.
Well, this dog penis may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here. Okay, so the widow shows up having, quote unquote, found Poochinski when he obviously went there, and then she brings over dinner to cook at McKay's apartment. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just. And this is one of the funny lines. I don't need my nose to pick up the scent of this dame.
Yeah, you like that?
I like when women are called dames. You can't do that. They smack you now, or they give you dirty looks. But I don't think it's derogatory. Like, I mean, man, like if we're hanging out at a bar or something, like, man, look at that dame over there. I'm gonna go talk to.
What about broad? Do you think that's derogatory?
That's more borderline than dame.
Yeah. What about doll? Like guys and dolls?
I call girls babe all the time.
Babe?
Even
Yeah.
like we're at a restaurant and
Or honey?
waitress, babe and honey all the time.
Babe and honey. That does sound good. Not as good as a hot dog and a kiss.
I'm like, smells like sup bro in here.
Sup, bro? What's sup, bro?
Sup.
I thought that's where you're going. I didn't say it in my head out loud. I thought I'll just say it out loud, and sure enough, it was what I thought. Nice job.
Thanks.
High five yourself. Oh, cut you. McKay and Poochinski argue while the lady and her daughter are in the kitchen making dinner. Poochinski then plays again that same song
on the record player. He somehow maneuvers his paw to play this very sensitive vinyl record with a needle, drop it perfectly on the song.
What does that song sound like?
Everybody loves somebody sometimes. Everybody needs some dames sometimes.
Something in your kiss just told me that sometime is now.
And doesn't McKay throw him lock him in the bedroom?
He does.
And he chews up all the pillows and the blankets.
Is he or is he not trying to get this guy laid? Or is he supposed to have sex with this lady if his
Her
mattresses?
house. Daughter
I
goes to
guess.
sleep, her house, but you. That way Poochinski can watch cartoons.
That's right. He does like cartoons.
Poignant moment.
Yes, this is McKay's
The bathroom scene.
It's here's my reality situation. McKay kind of has. I think he does it to start off with to try to neutralize the anger and the argument they're having, but he comes to a realization in his head where he is. And then Poochinski unlocks the bathroom door somehow, and he goes in, and Poochinski's kind of having the same moment. He's like, "It's just hit me. I'm a dog."
Yep, staring in the mirror. He's like, you know what? I'm never going to be able to arm wrestle my wife anymore.
What the hell does that mean?
Or his girlfriend. It was like,
You're right, but why would he do that?
dude.
Poochinski's got his own way of doing things.
Exactly. You can't question his love games.
McKay comforts him.
Love games. Poochinski can't take him anymore because he's a dog. And he's got a dog penis.
Wouldn't it be great if he was a dog and had a human dick? Just drag it on the ground as he walked?
Well, yeah, but we had a bulldog, too. Like, if it was a Great Dane, it'd be understandable, you know? But if it's an English bulldog, it's just going to rake it across
I
the
want
ground.
a grown man's penis on an English bulldog getting all scabby and bloody.
If we have any frequent flyers out there that draw, could you please draw that for us?
I want to see little pieces of gravel in the dickhead, too. McKay comforts him and says, "Hey, you know what, Poochinski, you've been given a second chance.
Yeah,
So what?
Be grateful.
Revel in it, you know?"
Yeah.
Later on, and there's a time jump here, apparently. McKay finds Poochinski outside, staking out an ATM at like a newspaper machine. He comes by, he's like, "You've been here for like a week or two." He's like, "What?"
Right.
They've completely assimilated into this life together.
Well, I think McKay, like, just every day, Poochinski just walks out on his own.
Yeah. I don't know if he's
Where you
got
going?
I don't know if he's got a key or
I'm
what.
going out to poop.
That'd be the advantage of an intelligent dog. He could take himself out. They're staking out for that, and he's staking out an ATM to try to get the robber that killed him, and he's been doing it for a week. Then they see a robbery. How many robberies can these guys see in action? That's incredible.
Yeah, they're all ATM robberies because this is, for some reason, it's the string of, this is the ATM bandit.
Yeah, that's right. And they see it, and McKay fights him, and Poochinski bites his nutsack. They catch the robber.
Yeah, you see these shots of McKay chasing this robber, and then just right up the rear. It's kind of like the Jason, like from like Halloween and stuff.
Yeah.
Like no matter how fast the girl runs, there's a shot of Jason
He's always right behind.
Voorhees. And here's a bulldog with 2-foot legs and a human dick, just following right behind him.
2-inch legs, you mean?
That's what I said, didn't I?
I think he said 2 foot legs.
Oh, 2-inch legs.
With a human cock dragging on him. You can always know where he was because there's a blood streak right on. Yeah, somehow he gets like on top of a wall or something. McKay fights him, and then Poochinski jumps down, bites this dude in the nutsack. He says, "I did not enjoy that." And then McKay, the guy's already get bit in the nuts, and then McKay knocks him out. So they're really beating the hell out of this guy.
And then but here's it was like George Thorogood's, like Bad to the Bone, but I don't think it was.
It was off just slightly.
It was off just slightly, so they didn't have to pay for it.
Yep.
Which, hey, to me, I completely understand what they're talking about because I'm going to foreshadow for the next episode.
Smart. The two are then back at home eating popcorn and fighting over the television remote. Poochinski then proceeds to consume McKay's slippers. What an odd couple, right? They pan out, go outside the window. You kind of see their silhouettes in there, and
so many more adventures ahead of them.
Coming up next, Farrah Fawcett stars in Poor Little Rich Girl, the Barbara Sutton story.
Oh, Farrah Fawcett.
Followed by Love and Hate Marriage Made in Hell.
Oh, that's a tongue twister. It's kind of like Life Twirls On.
Life Twirls On, yeah. Oh, boy.
Good stuff.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
The show didn't work. Sometimes it's easier.
They never work.
None of these have. Sometimes it's easier to surmise why than others.
Right.
Why didn't Poochinski work?
This was a ridiculous concept. A talking dog, and in 1990, they it was like a Triumph the insult comic dog. It was kind of like that. It just looked like somebody's hand was inside a rubber mask.
Yeah.
And it just there was no animatronics or whatever.
Well, you said it right.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. It's just a weird concept of a story. Even like it doesn't make sense. Like in Turner and Hooch, which you foreshadowed, but like the dog doesn't talk back to him.
Yeah, that's next level crazy.
Right. Whoops. This show is built on the belches of his back.
Oh, my back belches, man. Remind me to brush my back when I get home. It was very bizarre. This was for Fox. This is a major network. This is a primetime show. It's very high concept, and not in the same good high concept way that the Super Clyde pilots were, but in a stupid one.
Right.
It's very easy for me to run this through the Adult Swim filter and come up with a 12-minute ironic version of this, but I don't want to see that.
Then you would have to go even more over the top, though.
Exactly. It's got to be ridiculous on purpose. It's got to be shot almost Tim and Eric style, where you feel like you're watching something from the 1980s, even though it would be modern. But that's not what was happening in 1990.
No, it was like a drama. It was
they were trying to really make a go with this thing.
Right.
Did not work. What would you do to improve it?
I would make it like a Turner Hooch where he couldn't talk. He just somehow figured out that Poochinski was in this dog's body.
Yeah.
Or I would give Poochinski a human penis and just see how that went.
Leave everything the same. Just add a human penis.
Right. You can't make this work. You can't look. You cannot. I'll give you your opportunity. I'll give you the floor, but you can't tell me how a realistic way of making this work. And go.
Well, this if it survived, this is what I would like to see. I would like the story to slowly question like McKay's sanity, and then have it revealed that he's imagining Poochinski talking to him, and then it is revealed that this real life story is inspiration for the Meta Wilfred show on FX, and both exist kind of like the Stargate show. They both exist in the same world. Like,
wow, you put a lot of thought into that.
Like Wilfred, people say Wilfred is a real thing, and then in the world of Wilfred, they are looking at Poochinski like that really happened or something. It's like two levels where the guy McKay is actually crazy, and what's the guy in Elijah Wood? He was crazy. It turns out in Wilfred, as it turns out, he was not a real talking dog.
Spoiler alert.
Oops. So that's what I would like to see. That McKay is actually an insane person. Who
I need to really step up my game in regards to what I thought. Cause
make a note of that.
Yeah, you did really well there. I kind of sucked.
Also, that Poochinski puppet it exists somewhere, and I want it right now, and I will do anything for it.
Right. I mean, I wish Brian would have took that from the set.
This is what I'm going to say to you, frequent flyers. If you can somehow get your hands on the Poochinski puppet and you give it to me, the Black Captain, I will give you a permanent spot on this airplane.
Nice.
You can be on every single episode of Couch Pilots going forward, but it must be hand-delivered to me. That's the Couch Pilot's promise. That's the Couch Pilot's guarantee.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Our final descent are snatching up reviews from around the internet. IMDb score, care to take a stab?
3.5.
5.8.
Damn it! I never get it right.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of wiggle room there, you know. Don't beat yourself.
Wiggle.
Is that 2 Chainz?
I don't know.
5.8 from 52 ratings. Critic reviews. Poochinski proves that not all dogs go to heaven.
Hey-o.
Some just become Peter Boyle. By Matt Shimkowitz. Poochinski spends so much time delivering the exposition that it forgets to tell us how he became a dog, which, aside from why am I watching this, is probably the only question worth asking. I don't disagree.
They stared into each other's eyes, and there was some garbage blown around the street.
Yeah, I agree.
No, what had happened was Poochinski busted some witch doctor lady on the south end, dealing some smack. And
she cursed him?
And she cursed him.
Oh, my God. That's the worst curse. It always come back as some sort of lower life form.
A smack curse from a voodoo lady.
I'll pass.
Nobody does a voodoo like that dude.
NBC pilot, doomed from the start from RT Firefly from the U.S. This was an NBC comedy pilot, a test episode for a new show, if we didn't know already, that aired in the summer of 1990 for unknown reasons, something to have to do with tax write-off, no doubt. It featured Peter Boyle as a hard-boiled cop, Stanley Poochinski, who's killed in line of duty, blah, 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 blah. This is one of those shows that cannot make up its mind if it's a sitcom, a kid's show, or a cop show. The end result is comedy for all the wrong reasons. This is funny. One of the few highlights is comedian Brian Haley plays a small but memorable role as uptight Sergeant Shriver. That's about as funny as the script gets, but it's not enough to save this ticket from defeat. That's funny that they mentioned that too. I agree. Right. He is the funniest part of it.
Definitely.
TV Gold, author Rob for Robbie from Ireland. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I realize this show is supposed to be somewhat serious. It's just so funny to watch. The talking dog is so ridiculous and hilarious. The acting is appalling, but I think it has a lot to do with the most pathetic script, which is riddled with cliches. For example, you're off the case. Although it is pretty pathetic with the poor script and horrible acting, I was still gagging for more than what I found humorous than I would most actual comedy shows. For these reasons, I would have to say Poochinski has stolen my heart.
Yeah, it's just novelty laughter.
You're right.
It would wear off on episode 2.
Yeah. We should make it. We should make a TV series where it's only pilot episodes, purposefully. We should set out to make.
Right.
Yeah.
We just go into the head of Greg Garcia at our back, and we're like, listen, Greg's got our back here. That's right. He's gonna vouch for us.
He's like, you guys think you can make it to 5 seasons? Like, no, we're never gonna make it past 1 episode every season.
Right.
And that could be fun. We could introduce so many bizarre and off the wall ideas that we don't have to think of where it would go next, because it wouldn't.
Exactly.
4 out of 10 scars. Poochinski from Type 2-1 from the U.S. I stumbled upon
Sounds like my ex-wife.
Nice. I stumbled upon why'd you divorce that? If she was a Type 2-1?
She fucked another guy named Blake.
Fair enough. I stumbled upon the pilot of the show, which was the only production ever made. I cannot believe this show almost existed in the known world. All the canine and dog-related jokes and quips are freaking hilarious. Also, after some not so extensive review, it did seem that Peter Boyle gets hit pretty hard by the car. I don't know what that means. Here are some good quotes. I thought my back was hairy before. Now look at it. Also, all the hands are good now is for digging up bones, and life is it's life, precious life. You've been given a second chance. The acting in this pilot is very superb, and the effects of Poochinski are amazing compared to the Harry Potter effects of now. I wonder if Peter Boyle is somewhere disguised as a bulldog. I can dream. Just let me dream.
Stupid. That person smokes too much marijuana.
Yeah, that was a shit review. I tell you who's not going to have a shit review. Us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt signs.
I'm just kidding. We're going to give this a shit review. Okay, so the rating system set forth by Couch Pilots is a 1 through 7. It's based on the characters of Wings, 1 being Roy Biggins, the best.
Can you go through all of them?
Sure. 1, the worst you can get, Roy Biggins. 2, he was the guy who owned Aeromass, the big fat guy who's always he's the constant pain in the ass.
Yeah.
2, Faye Cochran. She was the woman who ran Sandpiper Airs. She was like the receptionist at the desk.
She's a cute old lady.
Yep. Antonio Scarpacci, the mild-mannered taxi driver that always was sitting at the counter talking to Helen Chappell. Joe Hackett was a number 4. He's the guy. He runs the show. He's the responsible brother who ran Sandpiper Air. Number 5, Lowell Mather. And we're going to do something different this time. This is a surprise to you.
A surprise prize for me?
That's right. You've been doing such a good job on the show that we're going to do a surprise prize for you. What I've been omitting and neglecting to tell you throughout the entire episode is that Brian Haley, who gave us such a detailed account of the show, behind-the-scenes information.
How it connected to his career.
He also starred in Wings. That's right. And I'm not talking about 1 episode. I'm not talking about 2 episodes. I'm not talking about 3 episodes. I'm not even talking about 4 episodes of Wings.
Is Lowell's brother?
No. Once Thomas Hayden Church left Wings, he replaced them for 8 episodes as Bud Bronsky.
Oh!
So from this moment forward, we will be removing Lowell Mather from the chart and replacing it with our very own Brian Haley, also known as Bud Bronsky. He, from henceforth, will be a number 5. Personally, Lowell was probably my favorite character on the show ever, but I'm willing to put that aside for someone who's contacted the show who had direct contact with Wings. So number 5 is now being renamed Bud Bronsky. He was quiet. He was quite jumpy and insecure. Those were his personality quirks.
Wow, this is amazing.
Isn't that amazing? We have changed the show thanks to Brian Haley. Number 6, Helen Chappell, the beautiful young girl who grew up there knowing the Hackett brothers, works that lunch counter, plays the cello on the side.
Oh, she can play my cello.
You know what's great about the cello? You gotta
sit down.
Yeah, sit down. You gotta kind of spread out.
Yeah,
get that cello between there.
Helps the pussy lip muscles.
Excuse me.
Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I'm sitting here. I think I'm just talking with bros.
My penis is a dog penis. And number 7, the best you can get is a Brian Hackett.
Yeah,
the carefree, irresponsible. He's got the brown leather bomber jacket, the sunglasses, cool, freewheeling, Bob Dylan,
flowing hair.
Hell yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
This show is built on the belches of his back.
Excuse me, the back belches. I tell you what, Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you. How do you rate Poochinski?
First of all, I would like to thank Brian again for contacting the show. I'd like to thank you for a year's worth of rigorous, detailed information that you look up.
Thank you.
And finding that out is amazing. And I hope Brian listens to the whole episode and hopefully he feels honored.
He has changed the scale forever.
Right. Changed the show never to be the same again.
Ever.
Giving it a 3.
You're giving it a 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Antonio Scarpacci.
I agree. I'm giving it a 3 as well. This
It
show...
was dumb.
Yeah.
It was stupid, but it was entertaining to watch. We all laughed. All 5 of us drunk guys sat and laughed.
Yeah, we did have... The first time we ever had a viewing party was for Super Clyde when we had to watch it on a DVD, the 2015 version. But this is the second time we all kind of watched it together.
With the Groupon.
Yeah,
that was part of the Groupon, was to watch it together.
Yep. They paid this. They got a discount, and all those people paid, and so we had to sit down and watch it with them. This should not have been a series. If it was changed radically, like I said, you could see it on Adult Swim, which obviously was not created for like another 10 years at that point. So there's no place in the world for Poochinski. The people who were involved with it obviously realized that and agree that it was not great, and Brian Haley says it himself. I have to give it a number 3. It was mildly entertaining, but just not very good. Right. Just silliness.
This show is built on the backbone of his belches on his back and farts.
All right.
Auditory expulsion of gas. Take a drink.
But now it's time. It's time to close the book on Poochinski forever. But we're not done.
What?
We're not done. Join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of Mandrake, the Magician. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Mandrake and Lothar battle enemy agents who have kidnapped the beautiful Princess Narda to force the magician to assist them to locate a counterintelligence agent who possess vital information. You have some thoughts on that?
I am very excited about this next episode. We're going to have a lot of fan feedback. We got a voicemail, and I loved Mandrake.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Awesome. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots on iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links. They're in our show notes. Or go to YouTube, and you know what to do, tube. Right?
You know the tube. What you do, tube?
Go check us out. Facebook, Couch Pilots Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Couch Pilots Pod.
YouTube.
Yeah, go to YouTube. Our videos are on there. CouchPilotsPodcast at gmail.com. Instagram, Couch_Pilots_podcast. Go to FCFnetwork.com. Check out our entire family of shows. Call 910-Pilots1, and that's 910-745-6871. Again, that's 910-Pilots1. Leave us a voicemail.
Yeah, we've had a few voicemails already. We would love to hear from you. We would love to just tell us your name, where you're from, and tell us we're great.
Things are really moving along here. The pachinko machine is working overtime. Mm-hmm. I know we had it calibrated recently. We might have to have it calibrated again. It's really taking in such a large amount of information. Sure. It's calculating all these frequent flyer points from all of our frequent flyers themselves. Anytime you contact the show, anytime you tell someone about it, which it genuinely is the best way to help our show is by telling someone else. The pachinko machine takes all of this into account, generates these points for you. You can get an array of surprise prizes. You can get a chance to sit in on the show, signed aviator glasses. We're sending out a prize package today.
We're sending out a prize package today to Richard. Don't call him Dick. He has a new nickname, but I can't tell you until the next episode.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We've got a lot of great things in there, and it took us a little while to get it together, so we put a whole bunch more stuff in it.
Yep.
This is the biggest surprise pack I've given as a podcaster in 9 years.
Wow, incredible. Well, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Brian.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.